versus Sean show. Mikey versus Sean. Mikey versus Sean. Mikey versus Sean. The Mikey versus Sean show. Mikey versus Sean. Mikey versus Sean. Mikey versus Sean. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again. We are here tonight for another segment of Mikey versus Sean show. We have two special guest co-hosts and then also a previous guest co-host that just stuck around and asked some questions himself. So we have, of course, me, I'm Mikey, and then we have
Sean.
And then we also have
Skee.
Skee, and what does Skee do? Skee's fucking daddles, right? And then we have
Alan,
and Alan, what do you do?
I just do videography. I don't do daddling too much.
Just videography. Yeah. And then we also have Sam from our earlier segment about the
Backed by
our deep one, where the house fire, and probably our deepest segment so far. But Sam stuck around for a lighter note. Well,
it's early still. Who knows?
It could get dark. It could get dark at any time. But so, ladies and gentlemen, they are here. Just to kind of sum it up, we've been working on this project called Grandma Messiah that you will see very soon, where I play my fictional grandma. I actually dress up as a grandma and everything. I have the wig and the outfit and the whole look, whole nine.
Looks great.
And you look good too.
He looks great.
I'm a sexy grandma. I got swag as a grandma.
She's a blood.
And I'm a blood.
Very mobile for a grandma too. Very bloody.
Yeah, she rides a skateboard pretty better than I can skate.
Yeah.
She dance.
I'm a blood without bloody shoes. You know what I'm saying? Cause I still gotta dance.
A long time ago. Yeah.
I don't make money.
Like still dancing.
That's just how it goes. But so the show, how we came up with the show is kind of like, long story short, I went to go visit my grandparents. They pretty much told me how I never come see them. It fucked with me for a good week. I thought about it over and over. I was driving after work, fucking around doing this grandma voice, and I think I was just did a little fake voicemail, and I think the first thing I did was send it to Skee and Sean, and just kind of, I didn't tell them I did it, and I just kind of sent, voicemail my grandma left, and they really thought it was my grandma, and they believed it, and they thought it was hilarious, and one thing led to another, and when I get an idea, I just kind of like to run with it, and next thing you know, I'm fucking walking around fucking Macy's looking for old women's clothing and had to leave because I felt very fucking uncomfortable. And I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So I called up my girlfriend at the time. Told her I need you to come with me to the mall so I don't feel like a fucking weirdo in the
shopping for bloomers
women's section and shit.
Yeah, buying like grandma
I
style
felt
blouses.
so weird. It's bad enough
As
being.
you should. It's not a regular thing. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
But it became a regular thing,
It was really, it was really
bad.
embarrassing. I made sure she held all of the clothing. I didn't want to touch shit. I just felt really weird. I left real quick when I went by myself. I was just like, you know what? No.
That didn't last though.
I didn't try shit on. I was like, you know what? I'm out of here.
Like eyeballed it. You didn't even try it on.
I didn't really eyeball. I was just looking at the people walking around. I was just like, well, you know why?
Yeah.
This feels really weird for me to be looking at women's clothing, older women's clothing at that. And no, it's like, you know what? I'll just come back. This is weird. But anyway.
Where's the old women's section in the Macy's or wherever?
It's in the back.
I don't think they actually titled it "Old Women's Section" because that's not really appealing. But I'm sure it's somewhere just in the general women's section, and then the clothes just get a little bit more mature.
70 to 100-year-old section.
Yeah, they have a sign that actually says
right by the
"Grandma." You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't know exactly.
Like 1930s.
You know how
section or
yeah,
something
you know
like
how
that.
you go to the
Great
old
Depression
video
section.
stores? They had like, remember the old video stores, and they had the little door with the beats, and they had
that's
all
the
the
porn
all,
section.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's where they keep the old women shit. They have a little
that's
door.
freaky.
with
That's
the-
That's kind of kinky.
yeah, because you know the old women, they got their own sexy style.
Yeah, they
Got
do.
that old bitch money.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
old bitch money. But
That
yeah.
flesh toned lingerie. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, like anything I do, when I come up with an idea on a project, first person I call is my white friend Sean. And
What?
White friend Sean.
yeah,
Yeah.
just for the show, he's my
He's
white friend.
white?
Yeah, just,
I don't
just-
see
you
color.
mean I'm white?
Only time I see color is when we're doing the show.
And when I step outside.
Yeah, you know. But,
All right, let me
Yeah, go ahead and say something.
let me pitch this real quick. So, Mikey calls me up and he pitches me this idea. I think it's fucking hilarious. And basically, it's called Grandma Messiah. Once again, the whole premise of the show is that Mikey's grandma is gonna surprise visit him. We both, quote unquote, live at the studio. I'm hanging out here. Mikey's grandmother, Grandma Messiah, decides to show up when Mikey's out on some errands or on a date or whatever. It's not really specified, but I'm in the studio. Grandma Messiah knocks on the door. Now, mind you, Grandma Messiah is an elderly, black, gangster, edgy, sexual, blood fucking grandma. Like, she's fucking crazy.
Gangster. Yeah.
And
I'm out
I am Mikey's white friend, very white friend, and the whole first season, which is all pretty much done and will be released soon, is all about me entertaining and conversating and showing Grandma Messiah around the studio and around the city until Mikey is back. And it's a long 5 episodes for the white boy that has to deal with Grandma Messiah, but by the end, we kind of reach some mutual understandings. We have some deeper talks. She fucks with me a lot. I beat her in bowling. We take a bunch of shots. We talk about love, sex, gangs, Mikey, all kinds of shit. We get chased out of a bar with a knife. It's great. It's great.
Good times.
So
Yeah.
that's Grandma Messiah, and that's why these guys are here.
Yeah.
One of them was the main videographer and primary editor, and the other one, Alan. So Skee was the primary videographer and first editor, and then Alan stepped in and did a couple more edits for us, and both of them were a big part of the project. So that's why we have them here today.
Yeah. So enough about us because we're stupid. Let's just dive right into whoever wants to speak first about what their role was in the making of Grandma Messiah. So,
Yeah. Well, yeah, like you said, you came, and I remember you played me that clip of you being grandma, and I did think it was funny as hell, and you pitched the idea to me, and I thought that was funny as hell, and then, I don't know, there was like some brainstorming going on for sure as far as like how we're going to do it, what we're going to do it, where we're going to do it, and I remember, getting together and like jotting down ideas and whatnot, and kind of like a unofficial storyboard, so to speak, and then we started shooting, and like I remember that first day we weren't, we didn't know how it was gonna go,
we
But
never know how
but we knew it was-
anything's gonna go, even this.
But we knew it was funny, So we knew it was funny, but we didn't know how it was gonna go, and we shot like one long ass shot. It was like, I don't know, 14 minutes or something of just this, of the Sean and Grandma Messiah meeting each other for the first time, and the banter they had, no rehearsal, nothing. It was just straight, just here we go. This is the ideas we have, kind of boom, boom, boom. Almost kind of reminds me of like Curb Your Enthusiasm, like that show. They don't have a script per se. They just
Like
have
improv.
Yeah, they have ideas, this
Yeah.
is what we want to kind of do and
Little
fill the gaps,
bullet points.
Yeah, exactly. And it felt really good. It went really smooth. The banter was hilarious. I was having a hard time not fucking laughing while you guys were doing the thing, and it was fucking hilarious. And I remember when we cut it and we went and watched it back, we were just like, oh, this is really good, like this is really, really funny. There's a lot of really good stuff here, and then just from then I knew like this is gonna be a good thing, a fun thing to do, and when we shot it over over several months, I think, and little, like any other project, you have ups and downs, little obstacles here and there, but we got it done, and then from there it moved on to Popcorn Allen.
Yeah, popcorn.
What page?
Yeah, I like how you, right? Back in school
Popcorn,
and shit.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was
79.
Yeah, you gotta read more now. You know what page we were on.
You get 2
that.
paragraphs.
Yeah, that was Skee. This is Alan. But yeah, like because you guys
Yeah,
don't
clear
know.
that
You don't
up.
know my voice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
You
don't
know who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I do.
you know
Yeah,
that
yeah.
famous voice.
I think you guys are the same guy. You guys are tripping me out.
Yeah, there's 3 white guys in here now, so it might
Way
get
too
confusing.
many white
It
people
might,
in here.
it might, they all kind of look and sound the same.
That's a lie. That's a goddamn
Well, you know
lie.
what? I will say that they all do have beards, and they can't deny that. That's for damn
That's
sure.
true.
You guys all do have
That is-
great
that
beards.
is,
This one, great beard.
If you guys haven't noticed, that is
This
actually
is unkept. I think is
No,
what
it
it's
isn't a white thing. It's just
no, it is a white thing.
happens
It's the
to be.
2018 white male thing where all white
got?
males need to have a beard because they're afraid
That's
of having that
bullshit.
baby face. I shave my fucking face
Hey,
all the time because I love having that baby
You guys
face,
are tired
baby.
of that racism, all right, Mikey?
I don't
Oh, our whole
bring
show
it
is
on.
about
Bring it
racism.
on.
You
Bring
don't
on
like
the
our
racism,
goddamn
bitch.
show? Kill yourself. I'm
Go to
just kidding.
Starbucks.
Go to Starbucks.
All right. Anyway, so who were we talking about? Who left
You guys,
off?
you just
Alan.
interrupted
Okay,
me,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
you know,
Yeah.
that's-
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I
no,
cut Alan off.
Yeah, your white privilege isn't good
Yeah.
here, right? It doesn't work
Apparently.
here.
Just come in the studio. We'll do an interview. and We'll talk over you the whole entire time. You'll
Yeah.
get 2 words out. It'll be great.
Yeah, because Alan's a fucking colonizer. I don't know if you guys seen Black Panther yet, but he's a colonizer.
That's
So
bullshit.
whenever white people start talking, we just go,
That's bullshit.
All right, we are getting off topic.
What did you
okay.
What did you colonize?
That's a good intro.
What did you colonize, Alan?
I don't know.
Nothing. Alan colonized nothing. Thank you very much.
Not
Anyway,
yet, at least.
when I'm not colonizing.
Yeah, when I'm not
Yeah.
raping and pillaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so I've worked with Mikey on a lot of his shoots whenever he has done some concerts. I've done a lot of videography for some of his shows. And
Wait. Break it down, Alan. They don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
How do we
Well,
know each other? We have history, bro.
You keep talking. Okay. Anyway.
You gotta take it back,
Tell
baby.
me, shut the fuck up.
Day
I'm so
one.
sorry.
He's trying to.
I'm trying to help
explain
him, but he's not explaining how he knows me.
But no, Alan. Start talking.
Tell them about
Tell us
me.
about yourself. All right.
Okay, yes.
okay,
But
anyway.
include me too. I want to hear about myself.
Every 5 words,
Just
Mikey.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, so I've known Mikey since high school. We played football actually.
worked.
So it's actually I probably known him longer than these guys, but then he was doing his thing and I was studying film.
Where'd you
like
guys
he
play
was-
football at? What school?
We played football at Brethren Christian High School.
You guys went to a Christian school?
Brethren Christian.
Sounds private
Christian
too.
high school.
It sounds
Yeah.
private. It sounds private.
Not too
Very
many
private.
public Christian schools.
Extremely private.
Anyways,
Mikey, do
What-
you
what-
want
what
people to
position
know that
did you
went
play?
to a Christian
Left out or
Yeah,
right
not
bench?
only
or-
from this is all the garbage on both of us. See, you asked for all of the background. And now
Yeah.
look what you're getting,
Everything
you
you
know?
want, everything
Bring
is
it
like
down,
fucking
bring it
chunk
out
and
there.
Goonies, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, well, first, when I was. Okay.
No,
Put that shit out there because they don't believe you anyway.
worst part was.
Yeah.
Everybody know
This is really, really bad.
I grew up on the streets and only the streets.
Yeah, at your private Christian
Knowing
Brethren
God and
school.
my Bible in my
Yeah.
backpack.
Streets Baptists.
Yeah. The streets was hot, filled with
Alright.
saints.
all right. At some point, we have to let Alan talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
At some
God
point.
damn.
Alan, come on,
Alain.
spit it out, bro.
Alain.
I'm used to just videoing everybody, you know. That's why everybody's used to like just being the
Even when
performers.
they
And
don't
I'm just like watching or whatever with the camera. No, but so we played football. Mikey was.
like porn. It sounds like
Mikey-
porn, huh? It sounds like
All right, we're getting off
Okay,
topic
anyway.
again. All right.
Well, you
Sounds a
just
little
keep
bit-
setting yourself
sounds a little
up
bit
for, like,
predatorial,
for
I'm
me to
saying.
just like make off like great jokes.
Oh, I thought you were
So-
talking about.
No, you're talking about
what I was
shooting
saying?
people, filming people
Yeah,
while
I
we're
film
doing
people all the
shit.
time when they're not looking.
Yeah, that sounded weird and creepy.
No, he's
But
fine. This is-
continue.
Okay.
He's just, we're just,
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, back to
That's
Chrissy
my
Allen.
side job. All right. Okay,
Don't
so
talk, shut up, man.
no, so he was a
Star
he
quarterback.
was like a halfback. He was like a running back, and like I was a linebacker, and so like
Yeah, I played
he was
linebacker, too.
always on offense. I was always on
I
defense. So we
played
didn't like
played a little DM,
we didn't
too.
always like
That was fat.
work out with the same groups or whatever. But like in the background, we'd be
showers,
like,
we
hey,
worked
what's up?
out pretty
Like
well.
you know. Like I remember, and like he was also a year older than me, so like.
So Mike's
I remember like
Skee's
it'd
out
usually be like I'd have to hit him or whatever, and like he'd often be like somebody who'd like he'd hit everybody else pretty hard. When is he talking?
I swear.
Let's get into what he does now, because I'm just confused as fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
beat
we,
off the
can
other
we just
guys.
let Alan talk? Like, I thought it was me, and now it's everyone.
It was you.
Hey, you set the tempo, brother.
Well, I'm sorry. I
You
know.
really did start it.
Yeah. Okay.
But Alan is rambling, like talking about being
beyond
linebacker.
football.
Like, they don't care what position we
I
play.
swear I heard him say beat off. We used to beat.
Tell him how many touchdowns
say
I
that?
scored.
What? No, you.
Game one of the senior
Yeah,
year.
a little bit. I'm like,
Three
what's going
touchdowns,
on?
baby.
Sorry,
3 rushing touchdowns.
In one
First
game?
game,
Are you
senior
out,
year.
buddy?
Senior year, yes.
Put out the white sheet.
Yes, I'm in the newspaper.
Gangster shit.
Look it up. I'll show you that shit out there.
Yeah, you
I
got
gotta
the
do my
newspaper.
scrapbook.
LA Times, bitch. OC Register, bitch.
Dang.
Oh, what's up?
That's dope. That's dope. I feel you. I feel you.
Okay, continue.
It's fantastic.
I feel like I don't know him.
Do we have to go through all our football stats as we go?
I need him to talk.
Yeah,
'cause
so
I'm-
I
Second
played,
team
I played
all-league,
tight
never mind
end.
Vaquero.
I feel
played
like
special
the people in
teams,
this
you
room don't know
um,
who I am still. Like,
Yeah, right. That's
I
actually
didn't get the
true.
words.
I met Alan
Yeah.
2 times
Yeah.
in my life. And this is
Anyway,
the 3rd time. And it's
so
going really well.
so Skee started off on the project for Grandma Messiah, and like he filmed it. Like he went to a bunch of like bars, like a mall and stuff like that to film them. Basically, do kind of like this like shitting on each other thing. It was really more Grandma Messiah shitting on
Whoa.
Sean, but
literally shitting though.
Hey, that's
Yes.
just behind the scenes.
you guys
let him do
just
it.
put
Just
your
let him
mind
do it, yeah.
You do it to
Yeah,
yourself.
because if we keep doing this, we're never gonna get through this.
Yeah,
It's gonna take a lot
Because
of editing
Alan,
to get
Alan
this.
just
to
does
be
nothing
smooth.
but set himself up for the joke and just.
You guys are like thinking of like
Oh, we're thinking like
weird,
goddamn
weird
comedians.
porn
That's
or
what we're
something.
thinking.
So
like,
anytime I say like shitting, you're like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, and
definitely.
yeah, there's anything
Keywords,
you
those are
say,
trigger
yeah,
words.
these are very,
Trigger words.
yeah, you're triggering the shit
beating
out of
off.
me. You're actually triggering so hard.
beating off
You're
Sorry.
triggering so hard. It's
I thought you
hard
said
for
to beat
them
off the
not to
opponents or
even
something.
jump
Like
in.
you
It's
said.
like
Hey,
it takes
wishful
taking a lot of
thinking.
self-control.
I'm the white guy in
I'll
fucking
get
Dave
off the beat
Chappelle's head goes.
All right, you guys. Let's let Alan have his moment. Go ahead, Alan.
It's getting too steamy
Yeah.
here. You guys are
It is
getting
getting
way
hot.
too worked up right now.
Alan gets
It's getting pretty hot out.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, so he had already shot something, and then he put together the first episode,
Banging.
or at least most of the first episode. I don't know if I worked on. I think I worked a little bit on the first episode, but he did a good job of
Thank you.
of like getting some good footage as well as setting a good tone for the first episode to help me to work off of. And then from there, I kind of like Mikey had approached me and he was like, "Hey, there's like the show that I'm working on, and like we could use some help for finishing up the episode. So would you be down to help out?" And he didn't do the whole like here's me as a grandma, I'm gonna test it out on you. So all I knew was like that it was Mikey as his grandma, and so I was like, all right, well let's do it. I don't know how this is gonna be, but when I took a look at the footage, it was
Just
some fun
Sean's.
stuff,
Just Sean's.
and turned out I think a lot of people are gonna have a lot of fun with it. You know, I think it's got some funny parts.
Alan,
I'd love to see it.
what was
You
like?
haven't seen any of it?
No, I've only seen the first episode, the one that I did.
What was
Okay,
what
I
was the
haven't
most
seen
It
any of
only gets better.
I
Oh,
imagine, I
you know
imagine.
what? To
I
clear,
want to compliment you too, but I haven't
Wait.
seen any of it. I
to
can't
clear
say
this up, that's Skee's fault because he's had opportunities to come up here and
Oh, that's
watch
bullshit.
the footage.
That's bullshit.
I've seen
I
this
said,
guy.
Mikey, tell me when you
Go
want me to
into
come up.
the
Mikey said,
elevator.
I'm gonna have you come up anytime.
No,
Baby, tell
no.
me when you're gonna come
He's
up
like,
here.
oh yeah, I'll come right now.
No, that's bullshit.
And he doesn't come.
Oh,
That's
no.
so
Hey,
bullshit.
he came.
And
but he
he's
didn't come.
he's
Are you
downstairs.
guys hearing your guys themselves right? Because he's like, he came,
Yeah.
but he said he was gonna come. He
Yeah,
didn't
I
come.
came all over his face, and he still wouldn't let me see it.
Yeah, in 1 minute, man.
Hey, we had
Guys,
this to
guys,
go. I
we
was on a
did
time
this gonna
schedule.
be about-
It was a
We
time
did
crunch.
the gay segment last week. You missed it. I want to ask.
I did miss it,
I
yeah.
want to ask a couple questions.
Yeah.
Alan,
I like something.
Yeah.
Alan, what was the most difficult part about editing Grandma Messiah into the different episodes?
Great question. Jesus.
Well, so Skee obviously he shot it with like his kind of mindset of how he's gonna edit it and whatnot for a lot of it, and I didn't have a ton of communication while I was editing it myself. So like there were certain parts where I kind of had to figure out what it was that was going to piece some things together, and so sometimes like I have to guess, but you know like. Eventually,
Yeah, you did a fantastic job,
like,
by the way. I
we
love how
figured
it
it out
ended
and
up all
stuff, and,
coming
like,
out.
But yeah, like that's probably and that just comes with anytime like anytime you're working on and there's like it's not like a one man show where one person's shooting, one person's directing, and one person's editing. If that's the case, then like that person obviously knows what they're going for.
Right.
But
yeah, because it's like a bunch of different people with their kind of idea on how it's gonna turn out, and me and Mikey, or Mikey has his idea, or I have my idea about how maybe it's going to come out, but as you, the editor, especially without a lot of communication, you kind of just have to be like, all right, I see where they're kind of trying to go with this, I'm going to keep this and try to tie this together and this and that. So like,
yeah, and honestly, that's one of the reasons why it was really great that he did the first episode, because then I got to see kind of the style that he's going for. And like there were certain things that I was like, oh, that's really funny stuff that I don't know if I would have came up with if I would have just gotten the footage on my own. But
I would just stop you right now.
Wait, I have a question. So, did they? It is a serious question. This is a really good question.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Before I stop you.
Did they tell you what they wanted, or was it just all up in the air for everybody? Because I would think that if you guys, it's your show, you guys would kind of tell them, hey, get this, get that. This is what we're looking for. Or was it more of a whatever happens kind of a thing?
Well, I think there was.
And this is for all of you guys.
A lot of times this
can't
is
answer
like a
that
lot of
question.
times, and I think this is what they were going for was they'd give me the footage and be like, here, you do what you like. They'd give me creative control, but then like after I kind of did
creative control,
that's after what I had kind of done, what I was like, my first instincts were, they were like, hey, we like what you did here, but we want you to change this and that and that. Like that's usually that way, you're getting to see somebody from the outside's point of view, and that, which is good. Like that's usually good to kind of have like, hey, like go at it yourself without our kind of preconceived ideas.
It was do what you do.
Yeah.
And then we'll kind of
like did edits and like commentary, like kind of like the first draft, second draft until it was all tied up and everybody was happy with it.
Nice,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean that's like what you said, like creative control. That's important, for you guys to give him that. It means you trust him. Yeah. You trust what he does.
Okay, back to what I was saying though.
What
I'm just gonna stop you right now.
I was like, what the fuck were you saying?
You said there were so many funny things. But why were there so many funny things taken out of the edits?
Oh, like that.
Whoa.
Because I went back over there and I was like, oh, that shit is hilarious. Why haven't I seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What's going down?
It's my fault.
No, this is for Alan.
Okay.
It's my fault.
I can handle that, but like
I'm serious.
Wait, time out.
obviously I'm not like, hey, this part's really funny. How can I get this out of the edit? Like it's not like I want to like cut out good stuff or anything. Yeah, like but
Okay, touche.
like whenever like it's part of editing, and like Skee's gonna know this too, but like anytime you're editing, like you have to be like, okay, so what's the funniest stuff, but also how am I gonna keep the pace of this episode? How are you gonna like make it flow?
Yeah,
It's not just let's throw in as many jokes as possible.
You can't just be random.
Yeah.
We're not family.
And he did break that down to me. He's like, there are certain parts that are really funny, but does it carry the story? Does it move the story? Pretty much what he said.
Or it's just completely
If it's
random
just like,
and,
hilarious
stalls
after hilarious, but it's not pushing the story
That's
forward.
hilarious.
Yeah, that is kind of ironically hilarious.
So then you guys did have a story. You guys did have like.
Oh, of course there was a story. Yeah, there's a story.
Loosely, it's
Loosely,
loose.
right? Okay.
Yeah, there's a loose.
Like
There's
structure,
a
I
set
guess.
storyline.
There's not I wouldn't say a storyline, but a concept. But the video games you kind of play and you make decisions.
I don't play video games anymore.
Well,
Make
all
your
video
path.
games have fate.
No,
of
no, no.
story.
Like, I'm talking about role playing games, like where you kind of like the actual decision you have, like
playing games.
4 choices. Yeah, and they're
Like
called
Final
fucking
Fantasy
RPGs,
Oh.
and you play a character,
Yeah.
and then
Like
you
Legend
know,
of Zelda or something.
yes, anything like that.
Like
Yeah,
the
exactly.
boss
Where you're
secretary,
playing
like,
someone else in their
role-playing.
own world, that's an RPG. But I'm saying like when there's certain
Housemaid,
games where
butler,
Yeah.
you have
Pizza guy,
choices
chauffeur,
and it
pizza
takes
guy,
you
the
down
MILF,
that
extra
path.
anchovies.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like we don't actually have like a direct path of where it's gonna end.
Oh, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? So we're kind of
I
just,
thought
you
we
know,
kind
it's kind of
of
fun.
did though. We had talked about it at least.
Indirectly though, like I mean that's what I'm saying. It's constantly changing. Like I mean I can
Well, where is
say
it
one
now?
thing
I mean,
like
is it-
today,
is it-
and then be like, in next week, you know.
I mean, is it
like,
still like where it's at? Is it still like
Well, it's done.
no, but
pretty
I mean,
much.
but you're talking about you do multiple seasons, though, right?
We have one season.
Right, but you're gonna do multiple seasons possibly.
We're gonna do as many seasons as we can, until people hate us.
Right.
So I think
So how-
I think what Mikey was trying to get at was that like pretty much everything that we did, which I think was really cool about the project, is it was all unscripted. We didn't write any lines.
Right.
We didn't like stage, except for like one small part where Grandma Messiah comes in and like tries to freak me out or freak Mikey out, but finds me instead. Besides that, we didn't retake any shots. It was all just continuous rolling.
Right.
We had places and kind of ideas about loosely like where it was gonna go and kind of
Well, yeah, we definitely had like you said, bullet points. We had plot points. You know, it was like
yeah.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
entrance, and then it was the
Yeah.
drama.
We-
and then
pretty much
the
it was
video
like-
games, then it was the.
It was pretty much like we're gonna be here, then we're gonna do this, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna do that. But
Right.
there's like no script. There wasn't like
you couldn't have asked.
it's not
for
like
a
we
better,
said we knew what we
rapport.
were gonna say.
Yeah.
Or even had an idea, or even had a direction of what we were gonna say. We pretty much just kind of fed off each other. It was more like
Yeah, and it was really good.
the whole time, just like more like reacting to each other the whole time.
Straight
Really,
improv. Really.
Yeah.
Like you have a
it's like he would say something, then I would like
Go for it,
go
yeah.
off
Yeah.
of that.
So
and,
you guys
yeah.
kind of like
but there,
predicted not predicted, but kind of wrote out what was the premise, and then okay, go for it.
no, there was
As far as
what
what happens
We
in this
spoke about
premise,
it.
right?
We spoke about it. I think we spoke about it.
Not that's what I'm saying. There were no details.
We did.
Yeah,
we
no,
did.
no,
we
no,
did.
I think
I
so.
have a piece
Like-
of paper.
like,
we
okay,
wrote some
say-
shit out. Like I
No,
remember
no, I
having, like,
get I
you
get
had-
that. Yeah, the
No, it's all
bullet
gone
points.
now,
But I'm
so-
saying like the thing is, for what I mean by no details was like,
Whatever
okay,
happened.
we're gonna go bowling. It's not like we're like WWE and we're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna win or Sean's gonna
Yeah,
win.
or
It was we
strike
let
or
it
whatever,
let
I
it
get it.
whatever the game happened,
Right.
whoever won
Right.
won,
Right.
and we just went from
So,
there.
so, yeah,
You
so
know what I'm
that's what it
saying?
is. So
I want to ask Skee what the toughest part about filming is, especially it being so random and kind of unscripted, and we're just kind of walking around. We don't really know where we're going. What was challenging about that kind of film style?
No, nothing. I thought it was great. That's like how I prefer to work, I guess. And I didn't realize that, because I never really had done something like that before. But just that method was, it felt very natural and comfortable and free flowing, and like anything could go, anything could happen. So it was like improvisational, filmmaking, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out really, really good. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the film style. I'm confident that everybody that views it will like it. I mean, there's just great chemistry and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it did feel easy. It was definitely fun to work on.
Right.
Well-
And just scheduling was like the toughest part, coordinating
always.
everybody's schedule.
Yeah.
That to me, that was probably the toughest thing.
Sure. What was the funniest thing that you remember from our couple times filming, or like?
That first day when we shot in Mikey's room, that long take I was talking about, that 14-minute take or whatever, where it was like Grandma Messiah comes in, kind of storms the castle, so to speak, scares the shit out of you, expecting it to be Mikey, and then she realizes it's you realize it's her, and then just this that's I think where the characters develop themselves right there, because we didn't really know. I didn't know how you were gonna be, how we're kind of and you were this kind of like reserved, kind.
I play like
concern.
the bashful white.
Yeah,
friend.
like,
Let me just say this really quick, because how we came up with the Sean's quote unquote character. Me and Sean are huge South Park fans.
Yeah, yep.
Like die hard, seen pretty much every goddamn episode, and and Sean is who he is. But I had to kind of just clear it up in his head about like what he was going to do. So to just kind of make it real easy on him, and I broke it down like this: like the character I don't know if you're familiar with South Park, but Butters. Butters. So like I broke it down like this: Grandma Messiah, picture Grandma Messiah as Cartman, and you're Butters. And like Cartman is just this fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Speaks his mind, has his own agenda, all about me, and pushing my way. And then Butters is just this like naive guy, really innocent.
Oh, jeez, I guess I'm
really,
back curious too.
really, yeah, you know, just like really want to like,
No Norse.
you know, just kind of like no like anti-conflict. Just
That's
kind of
funny.
go with the flow.
That's funny because as soon as you said South Park, I was like, those are probably the two characters that I could see you guys kind of like representing. Because like you guys have mentioned how you guys like you guys kind of work really well chemistry wise, and I think one of the things that I notice is like Mikey's very like direct sometimes, and like we've just been talking in the off part, like he like interjects sometimes because he feels like he's got to get his ideas
Sometimes
out.
too direct.
Too direct. Whereas Sean, he's not so much like Butters, but it's like he knows how to play comedy in the way of like yes and like he like when somebody like plays a joke on him, he rolls with it. Whereas Mikey's more like, oh, I'm gonna be abrasive and go against it, you know. So because like Mikey is like against and like or like he'll tease somebody about something. Like Sean is kind of the opposite, where he'll be like, "Okay, I get where you're going, and yeah, I'll play along," you know. And so I think that works together for their kind of dynamic, and that's definitely what they did. I think for the Grandma Messiah.
I think Sean.
I'm a genius.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Sean's a genius and a millionaire. Don't forget that.
Don't
he
live
doesn't
with my
live with his grandma.
No.
He has a mansion on the island where he slays.
Slays.
Don't ever forget that. And no, but Sean, like I said before, and even you, Alan, personally, because I mean we've known each other since high school. Anything creative, I've thought about. Video wise, I've always came to you, just knowing you personally and that whole thing. But then also with Sean, with this, anything creative I want to do, like I told Sean the other night, I believe in Sean. I honestly do.
Aww.
You know, he gets all gay and sentimental about it when I say it. Like, literally, I was going on this whole spill telling him, like, I believe in you, Sean. Sean O'Connor. I said his whole name and shit. He's like, man, you should be recording this right now. I'm like, no, fuck that. You need to record this shit in your fucking brain and remember it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck recording it for other people. I'm talking to you. I believe in you, and then he's the guy I always hit up for everything. The whole Mikey versus Sean, Skee was there. This was not the original idea for Mikey versus Sean. We were doing a whole talent show where we're kind of, he's a drummer. He kind of like influenced me to play drums. He does a little rap thing, but I'm more the rapper. And then, we just kind of came up with a competition, and then we just kind of we started working on the Grandma Messiah thing actually, and we just dropped that whole project. And then once we started doing this, we already had the logo and shit ready, so I just kind of took that name and just moved it to what we're doing right now, which was a no-brainer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same shit.
Podcast.
We just moved it to a fake radio internet show.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can call it a
I think it's called
podcast.
a podcast, yeah.
They call it a podcast, but I like to call it fake radio because we don't actually have a station. But the cool thing is, all of the famous stations that I do listen to, they all post their shit on YouTube because we live in an age where all your content that you're interested in is on your convenience with Hulu and Netflix, and anything that is on TV, you can, DVR it or watch it whenever the fuck you want.
These are like little sponsor plugs.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, real radio, fake radio, it goes to YouTube, and whether or not we have a real air station or not, it's still going on the YouTube, and we're trying to build our own following and fan base and all that shit. And I forgot the original question, but
What was the funniest
I
part
don't
of
know.
Grandma Messiah?
Was that the question?
That's where we started.
That's where the
Yeah.
question.
funniest
Well, he said
part.
What was the difficult part? Then he said, "What was the funniest?" Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Anyway,
Yeah.
Next question.
yes, next question. I'm sorry.
All of it's funny.
Like I said
you
again,
gotta see it to believe
we're
it.
usually dabbed out when we do these, and I just chime in when I don't want to forget shit, and then eventually I forget what the fuck I was even talking about. So that's just how it goes. So someone take over, please. Anyone?
I mean, just continuing on. I know, like, because we were talking earlier about the development of or how there was not a story going into Grandma Messiah,
Right.
and I believe you guys when you say that there wasn't an intentional story, but and that's kind of goes with where I was deciding what to cut. A lot of it was creating a story, and I think I saw what Skee was doing in terms of creating, maybe it wasn't necessarily a story in the sense of hey, we're planning on doing this, but it was a character development.
Right.
And it started off with, hey, there's these two incredibly different people. One's this, this old lady who's been through, hell and whatever, and Sean was talking about,
She's wily,
sexing it up and in gangs and doing whatever, and whereas Sean's the young guy who's kind of more innocent in the the butters, as we were saying, or whatever for the show, and
I love Butters, by the way, though.
Yeah,
Carmen and Butters, I love both of them.
But obviously they start off kind of the other person's super weird. But as they kind of hang out, because they have this mutual friend or family
they have no
member.
choice. They're stuck with each other.
Yeah, they eventually kind of appreciate each other, and so that's kind of what is supposed to develop, and that's hopefully what comes across in the episodes. Is each episode, it starts off kind of more oh, this other person's weird, and then oh no, this actually we can tease each other, but at the same time it's kind of no, there's actually
some respect growing towards each
a
other.
little
some
bit
understanding.
yeah, we can still laugh at the other person, but at the same time we can also appreciate their differences.
Yeah,
I can razz you because I love you, not because I want to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Grandma Messiah and I definitely by the end of the last episode we kind of have a moment where she accepts me and I open up to her, and then she leaves on our tab, and we get chased out of the bar. That's how Grandma Messiah pays her bar tab. And,
Spoiler alert.
Right.
oh yeah. Yeah, edit that. Anyways, so because we haven't even talked about it, but we definitely want to pursue more seasons and more episodes. Where do you guys see Grandma Messiah going in a potential next season? What kind of
Concept-wise?
yeah, I mean there's no wrong answer. I don't really have a
Well, I could see there being kind of a obviously, I like the way that I would envision it is it starts off hey, they're actually becoming better friends, and then maybe something challenges them, or obviously you could bring Mikey actually into it, and maybe Mikey gets kind of dude, you're hanging out with my grandma more than you're hanging out with me, or something, it's he doesn't have to necessarily be stop hanging out with my grandma, but it is a little bit kind of what are we doing?
What's going on? You're texting my grandma. She's talking about hanging out with you.
Or he could be I'm sorry, man. I like hanging out with your grandma more than you. And that could be funny too.
Your
It's
grandma's just really cool.
Obviously, the show's trajectory is continuing Sean and Mikey, Grandma Mikey.
Relationship.
Yeah, so I guess if it came down to it, potentially he chooses and normally.
Right, yeah. He'll choose grandma, but then they'll find this mutual understanding where the three of them can cohabitate this world.
Yeah.
But I think there was definitely, like you said, there's a challenge that needs to be introduced. They need to face a challenge. I think we had talked about that of having Grandma Messiah's past kind of catch up to her because that was the whole thing,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of like that's why she's initially. It's a what I remember the story as was initially she was here to see her grandson. But that was a front, you know, like
She needed to get away from some
you know,
bad people.
She's got her past like catching up behind her, you know. And
I wasn't part of this, so I don't know.
so that was the idea, and
It
like,
was just brainstorming.
and
but-
so. And that's as far as we shot it. Every time we shot every scene that we shot, like that's what in my head, that's what we were working towards, and was building towards that to a moment where like, you know, you guys are out together and like we introduce those people from her past.
Yeah,
you know,
like
that are,
someone
like in a side story. You know, like that's kind of
yeah, like someone's like stalking her or stalking us.
she's
and,
on the
like,
lam,
maybe a
essentially, you know.
confrontation
Yeah.
from like, you know, maybe an ex like gang association
Right.
and maybe
someone
a debt
saved
she
someone's
didn't
life.
pay.
You know? But I like it's a great idea though of incorporating. Obviously, you have to incorporate Mikey into it. You know, like
Yeah,
the
at
real
some,
Mikey.
at some point,
Eventually.
yeah.
You got to, and then that's a great idea of like the jealousy will now ensue slightly. You know, the bromance is no longer a bromance; it's a grandma-mance.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah,
But yeah,
you
because
know.
like I guess
And you can always be like, hey, you know, like I could see, you know, because obviously you don't want to be like, oh no, like your grandma's cooler than you. Like I mean, like you could do that,
Right.
and that could be funny.
yeah.
But the other option is you could be like, hey, look, man, like sometimes you're busy, you're on the road, you're
Right.
doing rap, you know.
I
and, like,
had no other choice, man.
yeah,
This is,
like
you know,
what are you gonna do? Yeah, because it's like because
you-
that's probably the two
You
choices
left me. You
gotta
told
do.
me to hang out with her.
Yeah,
man.
like those are probably your two choices. You either got to say, "Hey, grandma's cooler," or "Look, man, like sometimes you're not around, and like you
You're-
know,
you're still
I'll
cool."
always be there. Yeah, I'll always be there for you. But when you're gone, like you know,
having grandma's
yeah.
around is like having you around.
yeah, you know,
but a little more badass.
yeah, hopefully,
And with
hopefully it's a
titties.
cooler way to say it. But yeah,
Right.
I like hanging out with her grandma, man. I don't
Yeah,
know what
right.
to say.
I don't know. Your grandma's got game, man.
Yeah.
She's got my game.
Yeah. No, those are good ideas.
I just want to see some of it, you know, like other than I haven't seen a little bit of it. But I would love to see, like, you know, can you give me a sneak peek or something? You know, I want to see
Yeah,
what Alan did
man,
with it, man.
yeah.
I'm really,
yeah,
really
we
sincerely
definitely
curious.
need to show
Yeah,
Skee.
Yeah,
definitely.
Jesus
all
Christ,
of it.
guys.
Like it's
Exactly.
It's as much his baby as
Yeah.
all of ours, really.
You know
like,
what the funny thing is? All Skee has to do is come up here.
Oh,
She's here
that's
right
horseshit.
now.
And watch it. You know, so I mean, there's been invites.
You guys do
So,
live in the same
I
building.
do not.
Yeah,
I do not
you know,
recall
it's like-
an invite.
It's not like he's in Vegas and I need to email him the shit. You know, it's pretty simple.
Find your way to take a
You
flight.
just knock
you know?
on the door, take a seat, and I pull up the file, and it works.
I've been
pretty
up here
easy.
several times and I've never had any
2018.
mention of a. Hey, you want to catch that Grandma Messiah episode that you haven't seen?
Oh no, I've told you, you just never came,
That's
and
bullshit.
I just stopped trying to tell you because
Oh, so
I'm
that's
just
it. So
like
you gotta
this
stop.
guy doesn't care
You know
about
what?
his
I'm just
own
not going
work.
to tell him anymore. I'm having a screening here tonight, and he's not going to know about it.
Yeah, this guy
Oh my god.
This guy
This is
just
getting
he
really
works
sideshow
and
now.
doesn't even want to see his own shit. So that's what I thought. And
Well,
Maybe that's kinda cool,
it sounds
actually.
like you guys have a lot to talk about.
you know, it sounds like we need to fight. That's what it sounds
Oh,
like.
Oh my
God.
God! Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow,
That got aggressive real
escalated
fast.
quickly,
Yeah, that's
guys.
right, bitch.
That's
Yeah.
How
what they
about
do.
we do a WWE Tag Team Championship match? Mikey and Sean in this case.
Yeah.
No, fuck that shit. I want to be on Sean's. Mikey and Alan versus Skee and Sean.
You guys are done.
Blacks versus whites.
Black versus white.
Skins versus shirts.
Yeah.
Dicks versus vaginas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, I'm just fucking around. But anyway, I hope you
I thought it
enjoyed
was tag team
this,
right
and fuck it, you guys are down. Put some money on it. You know where I'm at, baby. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
I gets it in.
just to
I
conclude
gets
this,
it done.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the best.
He
That's-
fucking quoted me, man. See, I don't even know my own quotes, man, because I ain't seen shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there with you, Skee. We in that same boat with the fucking hole in it, trying to figure out how we
Hell,
not gonna
water as
drown,
quick as it
man.
comes in.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Called keeping
But-
the boat afloat.
But once again,
joke.
I hope you enjoyed this segment. I hope you're looking forward to our show, Grandma Messiah. We all played a huge part in it. I'm very thankful for everyone coming out tonight and talking about it, and also being a part of it. I know it's a long, overdue process, but I do believe that all things happen for a reason and on time. You know what I'm saying? You can't really rush rush shit. It just happens when
Can't
it
rush the
fucking
gold mine.
happens. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe it happened for a reason that it's taking this long to put out because it's been pretty much done. And
Well, yeah,
you know.
I think it's been done. I think we're just looking for the right time to launch it, you know, because we needed something like this, like the Mikey versus Sean podcast, to kind of generate something for ourselves and a way to promote when we do drop.
Yeah, isn't that crazy that we get to like do our own like talk show where we get to promote our own content?
Yeah, it's
Like,
brilliant.
how dope is that? Like,
And your guests get to promote their own content
Yeah.
too. Alan, you got any promotions?
And then I get to bring myself on as a guest co-host as Grandma Messiah.
Oh
and
wow.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, listeners, for listening in once again. Hope you enjoy the content tonight. We will bring you more shit, more controversial shit, more funny shit, more serious shit, more real life shit, more fake shit, more trolling shit. We'll bring you whatever the fuck we feel like doing that day. And that's just how it is. And I am Mikey.
And I'm Sean.
Skee.
Daddle.
And this is Al.
And good night. Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Thank you.